your nigga head like a KKK. Hush your nigga mouth if you can walk the talk. Smoke. Me running, me running, me running really, really fast. Ginger eye on the back of me black ass. Chasing me like a devil, pot belly of the beast. Calling me a dickhead, there is no resist. Closing inch by inch, got me in a pinch. Modern day Scotty Rock a laundry lynch. Chasing me like a devil, pot belly of the beast. Calling me a dickhead, there is no resist. Oh, close, smoke, me running really, really fast. Ginger eye on the back of me black ass. Chasing me like a devil, pot belly of the beast. Calling me a dickhead, there is no resist. Closing inch by inch, got me in a pinch. Modern day Scotty Rock a laundry lynch.
Testing, testing. We're good, we're good, we're good. Okay. I do want to clear off my desk just a little bit though, because there is a bunch of shit on there and it is a little bit unsightly. Just a tad bit unsightly, you know. I'm still getting used to this camera angle here, you know. And I want to make sure I had to put a bunch of shit here as well to fucking, you know, make space somewhere else. It's fucking annoying. But one moment, one moment, one moment. No, actually, hold on. I know what to do. I know what to do. I know what to do. It also doesn't help. All right. Look. This is only the second time. All right. You're gonna have to excuse me. All right. This is only the second time I've done a UFC stream here. I don't know exactly how to set it up because I have the TV over here. I have my desk over here, and then my wife is sitting right there on the bed. So it's like I gotta figure out what the right camera angle is. But what is going on, everybody? What's going on, Seth? What's going on, Zach? What's going on, Yoshi? Hope we're all doing well tonight. So I'm a little annoyed. I gotta be honest. The UFC keeps fucking around. They have 5 fights on this card, which is not a bad amount, but they started it at 8 p.m. instead of 9 p.m. It's like, just start everything at 9 p.m. unless it's like, oh, we're going to have a card in England or Dubai or something like that. Always start it at 5 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the best and really the only way you're going to be able to start something at a time that's going to make a little bit of sense. But instead, they started it at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, which would have been, I believe, 7 p.m. Central, and then it would have been like, what's that, like 5 p.m. Pacific. Like that's just such a weird time to start. But anyway, we have the first fight that we're going to be watching today. It's actually Chase Hooper versus a dude with the last name Ramirez. I forget exactly what his first name is. Obviously I'm sort of getting my shit together still. I'm getting my shit together a little bit, but I apologize for that. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna enjoy these fights. We have Du Plessis fighting Kamaru Usman today, which is part of the reason why we're watching this. I usually wouldn't bother with a fight night card, but that was just intriguing enough for me to want to do it. So we have Chase Hooper right here, who I believe he's fighting at 155. I remember he used to fight at 145. He actually fought somebody that I trained with for a couple of years. The dude was beating the brakes off of him, and then he got like a come from behind leg lock victory. They actually showed that. They showed that highlight getting ready for this fight. But yeah, it's funny because Chase Hooper was supposed to be the next big thing. People were like, "Whoa, this dude's crazy. He's like a submission ace. It's insane." Oh, dude. And I feel like since then you haven't heard anything from the guy, you know? He also looks kind of slow, a little bit lethargic. I'm not gonna lie. That was a nice takedown there. Interesting cartwheel after that takedown. He takes the back, takes Ramirez down. He's got one hook in. He's working to get that other hook in, I believe. Yes, he's got the hook in. He's not just a hook, but he's got a body triangle on him. And Ramirez is trying to hand fight to avoid the submission. He gets out of what was going to be a rear naked choke. He has the arm on the other side, so he's trying to turn in, but Chase Hooper is able to bring it to the mount position. He still has that body triangle, and Ramirez gives his back up again. And now Ramirez doing a good job of hand fighting, but unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be able to turn the tide because, oh, no, oh man, he almost was able to get up to a guard position, but it just did not work out. He is back in the back take position with that figure four over the body. He is doing, Ramirez is doing a good job of hand fighting. Chase Hooper doing a good job of remaining in control even through the hand fighting. I like your honesty. Well, thank you very much, Yoshi. I appreciate that. Oh, oh, what's going on here? We have what looks like a choke. No, it was not. No, it is a choke. There is a choke, and there's a rear naked choke. It's just not the best applied rear naked choke, but it could be enough. We will have to see what happens. And I don't know. Yeah, no, it's not quite enough. Oh, but he's got another rear naked in. Yes, he was able to finish the rear naked choke. That is Chase Hooper by submission, rear naked choke. And yeah, I mean, that's good for Chase Hooper because you know what? He missed weight. And if you miss weight and lose, you get kicked out of the UFC. And I know that because my high school wrestling coach, he actually came in third place on The Ultimate Fighter like 12, 13 years ago. It was the year after I graduated from high school. He was on The Ultimate Fighter. He came in third place. So he got a UFC contract, but he missed weight for his first fight against an Olympic judoka from Australia. I believe his name was Dan Kelly. And he lost in what was kind of a lackluster performance. So he got kicked out immediately. And he never made it back to the UFC. But since Chase Hooper has won, they're probably not going to be too happy with him. I mean, they're definitely not too happy with him, but also, like, whatever. He's like, he won. You're going to cut him? I don't think that's going to happen. What's going on, WH? How you doing tonight, man? Man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. So we only have 2 fights left on this card right now. That was a very quick submission. And I mean, like, I gotta be honest with you. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, it's not like Du Plessis and Usman are gonna fight and it ends early and I'm like, oh, it's only been an hour. I guess I'm out of here. Like, we'll fill the time. Like 2 hours is my minimum. If I can't stream for 2 hours, I probably won't even bother streaming. So we're going to do our thing with the we're gonna do our thing, even if it doesn't matter, even if the fights do end a little bit earlier than usual. Um I was running around a little bit today. I ran to the mall and everything like that. I have a new bill that I want to save. This thing is mad cool. I just happened to find it earlier today, and I was like, "Whoa, that's sick!" It was in a pile that I was going to sell, and I was like, "Damn, this is too cool for me to sell. I have got to save this thing." I don't even know where it's from either. It's from an Eastern European country. You can tell, probably a former Soviet. I mean, definitely a former Soviet satellite state. I got to figure out which one of that it is. But yeah, let me just look around a little bit. Sorry again. Yeah, Seth is here, or he was here. Hello, Hello, Seth. Hope you're doing well. Oh man, man, oh man. Sorry, I'm kind of getting my shit together a little bit here mentally. I'm gonna take off my hoodie. I want to put some sodas in the fridge as well, but I don't want to get up right away because it's been a little under 11 minutes. It's been a little under 11 minutes. I don't want to get up 11 minutes into my stream and leave you guys here just alone, you know. Um Man, I wonder what's coming up. We were all excited for the Conor McGregor fight, but that was a letdown, and now it's like, well, what's coming up next? I think we have Gary versus Makashev, but is that in September or October? I don't think that's in August. In fact, let me look that up real quick. Um, Gary versus Makashev. August 15th. Okay, so a little bit under a month from now. Okay, that's not terrible, but I'm just wondering what they have over the next couple of weeks, if there's anything that's going to be worth it. I've noticed a couple of things. For one thing, they had less fights on the McGregor card, and I think that is probably because of ads. I think they wanted more ad space. Like literally, I think they were like, well, the more fights there are, the less ads we can have. So if we have less fights, that means we can have more ads. Let's do it. It wouldn't surprise me if that is some aspect of it. But it's just you know the UFC is weird lately. The UFC has been changing. The Paramount Plus thing. I assumed it would be pretty cool because, like, fuck having to pay for pay-per-views and everything like that. You would pay like thousands of dollars a year just to get access to the UFC back when it was Fight Pass. But with Paramount Plus, it's like, oh, you just pay for the Paramount Plus and you get all this extra stuff. We should have known before the first card that it was going to be the way that it is now. Everything is going to be ads, 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 and it's just like it's just stupid. It's just fucking stupid. Sodas in the freezer, yeah. I'll leave them there overnight, and I'll open up the freezer, and it'll be frozen shut. Oh man, excuse me. Trying to think about what to talk about in the meantime. Who the hell is Michaela Cole? It's Manel Cop. You know, I love that there's tons of celebrities that I just don't know about anymore for two reasons. One, I'm an unk now, but then two, being a celebrity is so compartmentalized now. You'll have people who are famous that are known by millions, if not a billion people, and you'll have no idea who the hell they are. And it's not because like a Bad Bunny situation, right? Where nobody knows who Bad Bunny is. Nobody knew who he was until it was time for him to do the Super Bowl, right? And now nobody knows who he is anymore either because he did the Super Bowl. Now who cares? But like you have, excuse me, you have like tons of micro celebrities who are not really micro anymore, but you wouldn't know about them because they became a celebrity via some kind of niche thing on the internet or some kind of niche like TV show that only like Zoomer women would watch and all this other stuff. Like I was looking at we were was it an ad earlier today, baby? We were watching YouTube or something, and an ad came up, and it listed off like 7 or 8 people who all, for one thing, looked under the age of 18, but then for another thing, it's like they have Star Wars names. They're like Zimbab Umdubwe, and it's like some fucking like Arab looking motherfucker. Najoma Gamoma, and it's an Asian chick, and it's like it's people who like maybe they're actors, maybe they're singers, but like you have never heard of them and you will never hear about them. It's crazy. That's how fame works today. You know, even me, it's like, am I famous? Not really, but I mean, I was like in a microcosm famous in a certain sense. Like I was well known enough that like people that I watch on YouTube still follow me and still check my shit. Like, Gamer from Mars, when he followed me on Twitter, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Stone Toss Comics, he follows me now. Like fame is like not fame anymore. Fame is just like you did something cool once. you know? You did something cool once, and now like everybody in a certain sphere is kind of vaguely aware of you, or maybe more concretely aware of you, it's interesting. Fame is a strange place to live. Yeah, for sure. Blitz Comet 3607, how you doing, my man? How you doing, my man? Yes, I was fish tank famous is what I was. I was fish tank famous. All right, you know what? I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna throw some sodas in the fridge, and I also need to make my wife try the pineapples that I made the other day. So I'm gonna grab those. I'll be right back. It'll be like 2 seconds. Oh, it's you, they can still hear you, so don't curse my name when I leave the room. Don't worry, I will do it in my own way. Exactly. Thanks for offering me some, by the way.
It was nothing. They did.
Oh, what? They barely put anything in?
All they put was strawberry.
It's fucking good.
Yeah.
These are a couple days old, so they should really be, yeah. They should really be, Ugh. All right, we're back. What is going on? What is going on, Scratch Coast? How you doing, man? Hood economics. Hell yeah, dude. Oh man. I um I tried them about 24 hours after they I tried them about 24 hours after I first assembled them. They were not that bad. All right. It's been about 48 to 72 hours, I want to say. They smell about the same. The juice is still not terrible. They look fucking like the blue raspberry tastes good. The blue raspberry tastes good. It's just that it makes such an ugly color. This is such like look at this color, baby.
Very ugly.
That is a very ugly color, is it not? It does taste good though. You know, they got this one right. Although there's way too much sugar in it. I do want to try the other types. You know, here I'm gonna try and cut it in half. You guys are gonna see as well. It's only it's only skin deep. What do you think?
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, it's like it's good. It's not as good as well, actually, here's the thing, right? I didn't expect it to be good in the first place because of the fact that like this is just like this is what a lot of people mean when they say white people don't season their chicken. What they mean is you don't like drown it in salt or sugar, like that's what people really mean, is that like you have an acceptable amount of sodium or glucose in your food, and that's why they would consider this to be good, the types of people who eat this stuff, because it's like sugar on sugar on sugar
Yeah.
in an already sugary thing.
Sugary.
you know I do kind of like the acidity, and there is like a tanginess to it, but it is sweet, and it's like because of that it's like, well, this isn't terrible. There's no way. Like after tonight, I'm probably just gonna toss these. You want to try some of the? You want to try a sip?
No.
She's like, nah, I'm good, thanks. I'm all set.
I won't say.
But yeah, yeah, like it's I expected it to be worse than it was.
Mm-hmm. No, I see. No, it's not bad.
Mm. Miku color, yeah. Oh, already big guy. That big guy, man. Oh, excuse me. Dreekus via apartheid says smart moron. Yep. Oh yeah. Racism is undefeated. Racism in the UFC is undefeated. It is. You know. You got Drew Dober. You got Sean Strickland. All right, Sean the Iceman Strickland. Oh man, I gotta like it's cold, so I want to like chew it and swallow it as quick as I can. I hate like it's not that I hate cold. It's that it's I spelled Du Plessis wrong. I spelled it with one S by mistake. Whoops, whoopsies. No, maybe you shouldn't have such a dumb name. But anyway, yeah, I was just like, oh fuck, this is uncomfortably cold. Excuse me. Um, Scott Sullivan is invited to the cookout. This white boy got motion in the hood. Of course I do. Of course I do. Oh man. Sorry, I'm still like if it's not apparent, I'm still kind of trying to get my bearings here. It's only been 20 minutes. It feels like it's been 40, you know. It's that's what'll happen when the UFC card starts at 8 p.m. instead of 9 p.m., you know. And of course, we're looking at SSRIs that are going to be prescribed to women who have postpartum depression, which I'm sure is a great idea. I'm sure that's a great idea, is to give SSRIs to a woman who's already uh, because she's a spoiled brat, by the way, having thoughts of murdering her child. That's a great idea, you know. Wasn't that I read a little bit about what happened with Ellie, right? Rest in peace to her. I read a little bit about what happened with Ellie, and her sister described her being on Zoloft, and she said that Ellie mentioned, yeah, no, the bad thoughts are still there, but I'm not so upset about them. You know, the emotion's just gone. And it's like, maybe that's why the emotion is there, so that you don't act on that shit. So that instead of thinking logically, like, oh, well, I feel bad and I don't think my life is going to get better. So why don't I just kill myself because, my life is not going to get better. So, I mean, I'm not sad. I'm not upset. I'm just thinking logically here. I'm using my rational brain, not my emotional brain. Why don't I just fucking kill myself then? Like, yeah, that's exactly the type of shit we need for new mothers suffering from the made up disorder of postpartum depression is what we need. Yeah, that's how that works, you know? That's crazy. I'm depressed and the world is fucked. Yeah. Oh yeah. You know. I'm uh I'm not exactly doing great myself. I'm doing better than I was. I'm doing better than I was, but I'm not exactly doing as good as I could be. Things are getting a little bit better as time goes on, but it is what it is, whenever I get that kind of sad, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, I have thoughts of my own. Everybody has thoughts, whether they're good, bad, ugly. I have some thoughts of my own that might concern people, um about like the state of my life and stuff like that. Everybody has those on occasion. You start to wonder if certain things are worth it, or if you should keep on going. um but I mean, what keeps me going is the fact that, like, you never really know what's going to happen. You could wake up tomorrow and hit the lottery. You never play the lottery, but you just had a thought. Somebody gifted you a lottery ticket. Some crazy shit can happen. You know, if you embrace the randomness of life, you're gonna have bad things happen to you, but you're also gonna have really cool and good things happen to you. So you might as well just hang on for the ride because there's plenty of time to die. You know, everyone's gonna die. You might as well make the most of what you got now. You know, and I can understand some people feel like they're trapped in a situation. I feel that I'm trapped in a situation right now, but I know that I'm going to be able to get out of it on the sooner side. So, that kind of gives me a little bit of solace. Uh, Excuse me. But that randomness of life, that wish to just see what happens tomorrow, because you never know. It could be a really good, really fun, crazy thing. And then in addition to that, I don't want to give people that dislike me a reason to joke about my death, or like, to be happy that I died, especially by my own hand, Um like I said, we all got to die. So, if those people who dislike me are still around and I'm still relevant enough to them that they would ever hear about or pay attention to that, then like, yeah, there's going to be a day where they're like, "Oh, hot dang," and they're going to be happy about it. But I don't have to give them that added um that added satisfaction of, "Oh, he got sad because his life sucked. Ha ha, good. I'm happy." I don't have to give them that added satisfaction. Uh, those RAF cards are kind of fun. Kobe versus Arman, Clay Guida versus Edgar, and Askren versus Bilal. Yeah, I haven't watched any of those. Maybe I should give them a try. It does interest me whenever I hear who's fighting on them. Like that is cool to see Colby Covington getting some fucking work. The UFC literally, they pulled a Joe Lozon on him. Joe Lozon wanted another fight or two, and the UFC was like, nah, nah, don't feel like it. Not going to give you fights. Not going to accept. Not going to allow you to fight when you ask for it. Jeez. Jared Cannonier is 42 years old. I had no clue about that one. Sometimes it's the smallest things that matter the most, which we can overlook. Man, I need to get a haircut so bad. I just like I it's not even that I don't have the time, it's that I don't think about it, and when I do think about it, it's like I'm like, yeah, I'll do a fucking later, dude. Um yeah, I mean that's true. Like there's a lot of good things in everybody's life, and if you overlook that, you will kind of assume that your life is just trash. And that's something is I'm very happy that God gave me the life that he gave me. Certain things didn't work out, other things are not going exactly the way that I want them to, but plenty of things worked out for me, and plenty of things that I never thought would happen did happen. And for that I got to thank God. That just is what it is. um when it comes to fuck, I was gonna say, oh yeah, like I spend lately a lot of time thinking about my childhood, as I talk about it at least once a stream, but I spend a lot of time lately talking about my childhood, thinking about my childhood, excuse me. And when I think about my childhood, I think a lot about the good stuff and the bad stuff, and I try to remember that, like, I don't have to only remember the bad stuff. I can love and cherish the good stuff that happened, and I can try my best to recreate those feelings that I had when I was doing the good stuff. That's all I want, is to be in a situation where that's the case. But we have started Jared Cannonier versus some guy named Duncan from the UK, a black dude named Duncan from the UK, and it's fireworks early. These dudes are really throwing at each other. Duncan kicked Cannonier, excuse me, in the dick. It was an injury timeout for like not even 30 seconds. Oh, hey, that was an interesting kick from Duncan. There was like a crescent kick he attempted, but Duncan is throwing a lot of kicks. He's throwing specifically straight kicks, push kicks. Duncan throws a shot. He misses. Oh, hey. Cannonier had a single leg, and Duncan jumped up and kneed Cannonier with his grounded leg. He was airborne for that knee for a second. That was pretty interesting, you know? Duncan is especially high energy, and Cannonier's doing a good job of slowing him down and actually stopping him because he has him up against the cage right now. There's a knee up the middle, doesn't really make its mark. Cannonier has an underhook on the right side, and he is working to try and control Duncan's head, is what it looks like. Duncan throws a knee off the cage. Other than that, just kind of jockeying for position there. Duncan has control of Cannonier's left arm, and he's trying to walk off of the cage. There's a knee from Cannonier. So yeah, Cannonier's doing a good job of making sure that Duncan can't use his superior length because Duncan is a lot taller and longer than Cannonier. And then in addition to that, Cannonier is he's pretty quick, he's pretty explosive, and he's kind of wild. He's kind of all over the place, and that can be tough to deal with. Oh, shoot. So one of the things that was happening was Duncan was throwing heel kicks to Cannonier's leg, which was interesting. He was doing that the whole time, but then he actually snapped Cannonier down to the mat. He had Cannonier reversed for a second. He tried to break the clinch. He threw an elbow, and now they're trying to break the clinch again. Cannonier lands what looked like a left hook, followed by a right hook that missed. There's a teep. Oh, there's a jab from Duncan as well. Brief clinch. They break. Oh, Duncan with an attempted spinning back elbow, which misses. So Cannonier has Duncan against the cage again. Jockeying for position. Cannonier has double unders right now. He could really utilize those to his advantage if he wanted. He throws a knee to the inside of the thigh, followed by another. Cannonier tries to take him down, does not work. He was going for a body lock, a throw with that body lock, and there is a reversal with Cannonier now against the cage. Duncan dropping a level, and he gets the takedown, but Cannonier is right back to his knees, goes over to the cage, he's trying to use that to lean on. He gets right back up to his feet. You know, that was a really good takedown on Duncan. It's just he didn't do anything with it, so I don't think they're going to really count that. I don't know who's winning this round right now. I guess you could say it's probably Duncan because I think he's probably done a little bit more damage. Cannonier has more control time, but he hasn't done that much damage. Ooh, there's a punch from Duncan. There's another punch, followed by some hammer fists. He's trying to find a way to get to Cannonier, who has his back turned to him right now. Doesn't want to punch the back of the head, even though it's not like Herb Dean would call the punch to the back of the head, you know? Got some knees right now. They're just kind of, jockeying against the cage. Nothing too crazy. Ooh, they break the clinch. Ooh, Cannonier in trouble right now. Flurry of punches from Duncan. Ooh, followed by a knee. Flying knee up the middle. Jumping knee, more like. I think Cannonier's mostly fine. I think he's just kind of in trouble. He hasn't really taken anything too crazy. Oh, spinning back elbow, and then Duncan falls over after it. There's a jab from Duncan. Cannonier right up. And, Cannonier with the trip takedown. He has Duncan's back. He's going to try to get hooks in, I would assume. He's trying to get one hook in right now, and he's just about got it. He's just about got that hook in. It's not 1,000,000% in now. It is in. We're going to see what he tries to do with that other hook, I'm not big on hooks. I'm not someone who rides legs like that too much. I've just never been that good at it, It can be a little tough, and that's one of the reasons Duncan stands up and Cannonier literally just falls off, and I was going to kind of say, like, this is a weird spot for Cannonier because Duncan is so much bigger than him. It's going to be harder for him to hold on and make sure that he doesn't slip off. And sure enough, all that needed to happen was Duncan stands up and Cannonier slides right off and is on his back. If you put a gun to my head and told me to give that round to somebody, I would say I would have to give it to Duncan. I don't think you could give it to Cannonier. Cannonier did a good job with his control, I guess, but I mean, we're not here just to control. We're here to do damage, and Duncan definitely did more damage there. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. I haven't cut my hair in like 4 years or something. Enjoyed going to the salon when it was shorter. You're paying a little more for better service. Yeah, yeah. Like I'm gonna be going to Brazil, and my mother-in-law is a hairdresser, and she cuts my hair really good. And I guess I've kind of been waiting for that, but like that's months away. It was originally gonna be like sometime next month that we were gonna go, but we had to push it back for a little while, and we're trying to figure it out now. So like I guess I should get a haircut in the meantime. All right, here we are, round two. There was a spinning back kick attempt from Duncan that didn't land, and it looked like a left hand landed on Cannonier because I saw a left hand. Oh, a spinning wheel kick. Oh, followed by a knee attempt, which would have been an illegal knee. That would have been very illegal if that landed. So Cannonier has Duncan up against the cage. He had to be careful because his head was in a guillotine position, but he was able to pry that out. Cannonier dropping a level, looks like he might be trying to get control of the legs. I'm not 100% sure. You see, what he should do is utilize his right leg to, well, it's going to be tough for him to do that now, but you see, right now, he could utilize his right leg as a means to reap Duncan's left leg out from underneath him and get that takedown, but instead, he is switching to a single leg, which is not the worst idea. He's just got to finish the takedown, is what's got to happen. So, I mean, Duncan is more active and he's doing more damage, but a lot of the things that he's throwing, specifically the bigger stuff, it's like missing. But the thing is, it's not missing by a lot. It's just like incidental. Like, Cannonier just happens to be in the middle of something where he moves his hand up, like during a kick or a punch or something. And that's when the dude decides he's going to throw his spinning back, whatever. So we have uppercut followed by a short right hand from Cannonier in the clinch, trying to get some dirty boxing. Oh, that was a nice, what looked like an elbow. Duncan kind of staggering there for a second. I don't think that was because of the elbow though. A jab cross from Duncan avoided. Ooh, that was a nice short elbow, followed by another nice short elbow from Duncan in the clinch. There's a kick up the middle. Ooh, a cross right down the middle from Duncan lands. Oh man, Cannonier is in trouble. A few of those punches got through, and overhand right by Cannonier staggers Duncan for a second. Didn't hurt him too much, but I think it made him honest. I think it's going to keep him honest. There's a nice elbow from Cannonier, followed by a nice elbow again from Cannonier. There's a jab into what I think was supposed to. Oh, a spinning back elbow from Duncan. Right lands flush on Cannonier. These guys are giving it to each other. They're catching each other with something clean every few seconds. And ooh, a takedown attempt, a throw from Duncan did not work. But Cannonier is now up against the cage. Cannonier short left hand on Duncan. This isn't the most exciting fight, but it has exciting moments when they're actually trading, when they're actually like trying to throw at each other. A lot of the time they've just been jockeying for position up against the cage. That's what a lot of modern MMA is, I feel like, is just cage wrestling. It's really annoying. Nice knee from Cannonier. Oh, hey, there's a nice elbow. Followed by another elbow. I don't think that one landed from Cannonier. There's a jumping left hook that misses from Cannonier, followed by another. There's a teep from Duncan. See, Duncan is not utilizing those lead kicks, or not those push kicks as much anymore, and because of that, like, I mean, he's doing this shoulder strike from Duncan. Duncan's not doing a bad job. I still think he's winning this fight for the most part, but it's a little bit closer than it could be. It's a little bit closer than it needs to be because he's not using those lead. Oh, there's a takedown from Cannonier. He's gonna have to work. He's got a little over a minute. If he can put himself in a position where he can just land punches, he's gonna be in good shape. You know. You see, Duncan doesn't have a half guard. Cannonier should go for the mount because And you see, I don't know exactly what the I don't know exactly what the announcers are talking about, but I heard something about full mount. I think they're probably saying the same thing. You know, if Cannonier can go to a full mount, that's going to mean trouble for Duncan because he's either A, going to be taking shots, or B, he's going to have to give up his back, which he is doing now, but Cannonier does not have. Ooh, Cannonier goes for a Western, but it does not work out for him. He is out wrestled, and Duncan is now on his back. He has one hook in. We're going to see if he can get that other hook in. Ooh, Cannonier grabbing the cage. Herb Dean has to tell him to stop. Ooh, Cannonier grabbing the cage again. He probably doesn't even realize he's doing it. So we got 4 seconds left. We're probably going to end in this. Yes, that is the end of round 2. Ah, man. Man, oh, man. Oh, that's what I'm missing. Yeah. Just make sure here. All right, cool. Want to make sure you can't just like see my wife or anything like that. Do you feel the thing blowing on you?
No, a little bit.
All right, if you need, I can move it closer.
Oh, no,
Do you want it?
no, it's cool.
Okay, all right. But you know, I don't know how many more of these I'm going to be doing here specifically. You know, hopefully there's not too many more. Hopefully this is the last one. But you know, with how everything's been going with me trying to figure out how I'm going to bring this stuff to the new place, it's been kind of a fucking pain in the ass. But you know, it is what it is. Hopefully this will be the last one. But you know, I'm kind of I got to think about getting like a meta together where it's like I know exactly what I need, where, when, and how. You know, but uh right now, Duncan comes out. Ooh, there's a nice cross down the middle, just barely parried by. Ooh, there's a cross that lands. That did not feel good to Cannonier at all. So I was saying that Duncan is using those kicks again. He's using kicks up the middle, and he's using roundhouse kicks, which is good for him, you know? It's a nice kick to the inner leg as well. Ooh, there's a jab. Lands on Cannonier. Both of these guys, you know, the fatigue factor isn't that big of a deal. You can see, but it is present. You know, you can see they've kind of slowed down a little bit. They're not as tenacious. Yeah, the clinch in the middle of the cage right now. Cannonier driving him up to the ooh. Cannonier uses a trip, and he has Duncan on the ground, but Duncan is back up and he is out. They're returning to the center of the ring. Left hook, right hook by Cannonier. Neither of those land. This jab from Cannonier. I think the jab from Duncan landed. Jab from Duncan's flipped by Cannonier. Oh, a inner leg kick by Duncan. Could hear that thud. Cannonier tries an elbow, does not quite work. Duncan by elbow by Duncan does not quite work out. Dollaman says they should have casted you as Odysseus. Yeah, but my dick's natural, so they didn't want to, you know. That's my Achilles heel, is that my dick is natural. It's not a roll of thigh skin. So, you know, it just wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked out, you know. Wouldn't have happened, unfortunately. When does Usman and DDP start? This shit is live. Yeah, yeah. It should be after this fight right here, you know. A haircut can make you feel great. Yeah, I guess. I see. Yep. It's my Achilles dick. All right, so we have a little over 2 minutes in this fight, and we have Cannonier trying to keep Duncan down, Duncan back to his feet, trying to get to that cage. And Cannonier almost puts it. Oh, he does put him back to the canvas. Again, Cannonier, it's just Duncan's a little too big for Cannonier. He can't get his hooks in properly. It's just not going to work out, you know? He's got to go for something other than the hooks, you know? And people talk about how jujitsu is not good for MMA anymore. And it's like, well, I mean, that's only true in that you don't want to be on your back trying to hunt for submissions. There's a lot of good aspects of jujitsu, especially the top game, that can be utilized and should be, but a lot of dudes just don't bother with it. You know, I'm curious if Cannonier is a black belt in jujitsu, because if he is, then let me see here, right? Oh, we have some dirty boxing from Duncan. Catches him with a couple of shots. And Cannonier is in trouble, but he's not in that much trouble. We're going to see if he can survive. It looks like he will right now. I don't think Cannonier is hurt or anything like that. I think he was just being overwhelmed temporarily. Yeah, Jared Cannonier is a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so it's like I don't think there's really an excuse for him in that second round, because that was really bothering me seeing him in that second round. He's got what's his face Duncan on his back, and he's sitting in what was not even a half guard. It wasn't even a half guard that he was in. Trying to get off the cage. Duncan circles out, but he almost catches an elbow on the way out. You can see Duncan is definitely fatigued. There was an uppercut attempt. Oh, there's some uppercuts that landed from Cannonier. Cannonier dodges that left hook. Ooh, Cannonier pulls and almost makes Duncan eat a shot. You know, I think Duncan is ahead for sure, you know. Oh, takedown attempt does not work out at the bell. I think Duncan won that. I don't think you could give it to Cannonier, but the fact that a 42-year-old Jared Cannonier was able to keep up with this guy in the way that he was, it's like, what does that say about this guy, you know? There's Cannonier wasn't fighting this guy because it was supposed to be like a good matchup. Cannonier was fighting this guy because Cannonier is 42, and how many more fights does he have in him? And he was kind of known. He was kind of well known in this division. So, you know, like when Duncan beats him, he's kind of taken a little bit of Cannonier's essence, you know? That's at least the way that it's supposed to work. But Cannonier was hanging on. He was hanging on, and he wasn't doing that bad, you know? Oh, man. Oh, man. Man, oh, man. Shit. Sorry, just looking around here at some stuff. All right, well. Shit, guy. All right. All right, all right, all right. Sorry, just looking around. Like I said, I gotta get a meta for these things if I'm gonna be streaming any more of these here. Like I don't think I see anything exciting and worthwhile until uh Ian Gary fights Islam. You know, I don't think I'm gonna see anything worthwhile in that way until then. So because of that, I don't think we're gonna be doing this until next month, and hopefully I'll have my stuff moved in by next month. If I don't, it's gonna be like, what the hell is going on? Like, why can't I make this fucking work? But yeah, you know, his name is Christian Leroy Duncan. That's hilarious. But yeah, you know, I apologize if I seem a little like, what do I talk about? Like, I'm definitely not in my groove right now. I'm definitely not in my groove. But You know, it doesn't help that we only started halfway through the fights. You know, there was what did you say? There was 5 fights on the card.
Yeah, main card.
Yeah, the main card had 5 fights. We missed the first 2 because they started at 8 p.m. And it's like, man, what the fuck? Oh, I'm trying to think of things to talk about, and obviously we could talk about the Ellie thing, but I don't know how much there is to talk about because I said basically everything that I could reasonably say during the last stream. You know, I just think it's an unfortunate waste of life, you know, and there's a lot of people who are willing to throw their lives away because of, you know, things that they're feeling, and it's really unfortunate that so many people feel that way. I think that it's a growing sentiment in young people that, you know, there's no hope in life. I think it's a brain worm, but I also don't think I don't think it's an unreasonable feeling to feel that like life is probably not as good as it should be. Um, you just have to know what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it. Oh, it's Ron Perlman. Yo, Lil Donnie. Yo, Lil Donnie. I just shoved some apples up my ass. How you like them apples? Yo, Lil Donnie. He used to do these tweets back during Donald Trump's first presidency. He'd be like, "Yo, Lil Donnie," because he did Sons of Anarchy, and like he really started to believe he was Mister like fucking I forget what his I forget, huh? Clay, yes, Clay. He really started to think he was Mister like fucking badass motorcycle dude, you know? Like he's fucking Paulie Walnuts or something like that. I guarantee you he walked into places before and was like, hey, yo, Lil Donnie. Yo, Lil Donnie, I just sucked my dad's dick. How you like that, you punk? Like fucking it's like, damn, that guy is a loser. He is a loser. He's also in Fallout, one of my favorite video game series. He's the announcer, or he was anyway. I think it was Fallout 4. They got rid of him. I think they didn't call him back for Fallout 4, which is it is funny. That was only like a year after Sons of Anarchy ended too, is the thing. So it's like I don't think it was cause Sons of Anarchy ended. It was just voiceover stuff. Is not even voice acting, literally just narration. That's it, you know. So it's like there's no way he couldn't fit that in. I'm willing to bet that he was like, "Yo, hey, I'm a big tough biker now. You better give me more money." And Bethesda was like, "We ain't giving you more money. Sorry, pal, it ain't happening. Not happening." But yeah, it really is unfortunate what happened with Ellie, you know, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I am a little bit I'm not gonna mention names here. I don't wanna call people out and like have a ton of beef with people and stuff like that. But like it is a little weird seeing certain people who have like never spoken with Ellie, or like they spoke with her like very, very like briefly, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it." They're all over Twitter, you know. I don't know if you guys noticed, I didn't have shit to say on Twitter because I mean I talked to Ellie a couple of times, but it's not like we were good friends or anything like that, you know. Um, yeah, it just was what it was, you know. She was just a chick on Fish Tank. I also was on Fish Tank at one point, so you know we made our acquaintance. Um, and then after that we didn't really talk, you know. She was nice, she was pleasant, but you know, I'm not gonna pretend like it's like, "Oh, Ellie, oh, we talked 2 or 3 times in the DM and it was such a nice conversation, and ooh, rest in peace, ooh, rest in power, ooh." You know, it's just like, all right, let's you know, let's try to have a little class here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try and be classy about this, you know. It's possible to even talk about something. It's possible to talk about something in the way that I am without being like fucking weird about it, you know? And that's what I would say the problem is that it's just like weird, you know? Like you didn't know her that well, if at all, you know? Oh, there it is. Excuse me. You know? Got to get off SSRIs, man. If you're on SSRIs, you got to find a way to get off of those that's not going to completely tank everything, you know? Because that'll be just as bad as being on the SSRIs and having thoughts like, oh well, you know, I still want to die. I just don't cry about it anymore. I still want to die. I still don't want to live, but I am incapable of having an emotional outpouring about it that might act as catharsis, which would keep me from actually going through with it. So I guess that's good. It's like, no, maybe there, like maybe there's a good reason to cry like that. Maybe there's a good reason to be sad about that type of stuff. Maybe that is sad and you should be sad about it and you should try to find a way to not feel that way anymore, you know? That doesn't include like just not fucking like feeling that way, you know? Meaning like not feeling anything, excuse me, you know? Really is unfortunate. Yo, this live. Yeah, this is live. Sorry, haha, LOL, haha, LMAO, XD. Sorry about that. I'm not doing a good job of keeping an eye on my Streamlabs. I was only really looking at my YouTube comments that were right here. But thank you very much for tuning in. Yeah, this is live right now, and we're actually waiting on Dricus and Usman now. It's going to be the next fight up. You know. Oh, excuse me. If Dricus wins, Rhodesia gets restored. Dude, if Rhodesia gets restored, I'm moving there. We're gonna be moving there. You know, it's so crazy to see that Dricus is clearly gay, but like he won't confirm it, and because of that, it's just like it's just so funny to see that. You know, it's so funny to see, and it's almost kind of respectable because you know what, if he addressed it, he would be the first openly gay UFC champion, and he's choosing not to take that diversity hire shit. He's choosing not to do that. I'm gay and that's all that matters type of shit, and it's pretty respectable, if anything. You know, it's pretty respectable. You know, I think he could probably knock off that whole kissing his coach thing, you know? I don't care who he kisses as long as it's not right in front of me, you know? But it's just so funny. They're showing like they're showing a close up of his hands, and he's got pink nail polish on him, you know? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wait, who's that? Oh, that's got to be Dricus. Why would they show a close up of his trainer's hands in the pads? Why would that be the case? You know, it's so clear the UFC is trying to be like, hey homos, huh? You see him, huh? Huh? You know you want to tune in, right? Huh? Huh? They have them during Pride Month. They're like, hey, would you? Hey, homos. Hey, homos. You see that? You see that? Does that make you want to fuck your boyfriend? Huh? Huh? All right, we have Usman coming out. No note, so no one knows. Yeah. Well, yeah. You know, I mean, it, I'm not saying why she did it. I'm not, because obviously I know there's rumors and speculation that's going around, right? And I'm not gonna, just like when there were other rumors and speculation and stuff like that, I'm not gonna be someone who publicly adds to anything that's going around, right? I don't think that's a good thing. I don't know what's true and what's not, and I'm never going to, so I'm not gonna deal in things that I'm not 100% sure about, right? Excuse me. But her sister did say she was on Zoloft, and she did say that Ellie mentioned, yeah, I still feel like shit. I'm just not sad about it anymore. That's basically what she said in one of those posts. And because of that, it's like, well, to me, it seems like that might be the reason why, like, because if you feel like you want to die and then you have a good cry about it, usually like that outpouring of emotion will be cathartic. That's why people cry in the first place. Usually it's because they're overwhelmed with whatever emotion it is, usually sadness, sometimes anger, or even happiness, but you get the idea. And because of that, they just kind of have to let it all flow like a volcano. And then once that all flows out, it's like, okay, the pressure's gone. Even if I still feel bad, maybe I don't want to die. Maybe I have expressed myself, and maybe there's a little bit of clarity there now, and maybe I can think about a different way of going about it. But we'll never know. I would assume we're never gonna know. But I just hope that I guess it's her sister. I hope her sister is as okay as she can be, and I hope that she's able to move forward. You'll never really move on from something like that, but you can at least move forward, and you'd be very surprised how similar those things can be. Um, Sister speculating too. She admits to not doing enough for her. Yeah, I mean, the unfortunate reality is like nobody can really do that much for anybody else. And the people that can do something, they usually don't care. It's like my parents. Like my parents never really cared enough to like give me whatever it was that I needed. This fucking idiot cut man rubs the Vaseline over Usman's lips and then has to blot it off. That's like, what the hell are you doing, man? Vaseline, you put it here and there and there. You don't got to put it down here. It's fine. You're not going to cut down here. Down here is not going to cut like that. I know Robbie Lawler had one, but that was one in a million. But yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, like we will never know. I'm sure her sister knows better than us, even if she doesn't know 100%. And you can't blame yourself 100% there. Like even if you could have actually done something else, it's like, well, the choice was hers. Not her sister's. And if she had reached out to her sister a little more, probably she might have been like, her sister may have been able to help her, but it's pretty clear that a decision was made, you know. And that's the sad reality, is that when people say get help, what they really mean a lot of the time is like tell somebody else, is what they really mean. Reach out, get help. What they mean is call an impersonal suicide hotline type thing, where they're just going to be like, no, don't kill yourself. And then they're going to send the police to your location. And the police are going to literally like they're going to fucking like threaten you, right? They're going to like threaten you. They're going to be like, you're coming with us one way or another, is like the response, not the response, the way that they act towards you, because they're loser cops. But then I repeat myself, right? um and then you're going to be brought to a hospital ER with somebody who doesn't care about you. It's just their job. And they're going to be like, I think we should commit you. And then you're going to go to a fucking place where you're away from some of your problems. So you start to feel a little bit better. But the second your health insurance runs out, they're kicking you to the curb. And then also the people in there are not actually trying to help you. They're basically just babysitting you, is all that's happening. They're babysitting you while a psychologist tries to find a cocktail of drugs that they think will keep you sedated. It's gross. It's gross. But like, you know, sorry, I'm jumping all over the place right now. We got Du Plessis walking out right now. He just kissed a girl. Did you see that, baby? Du Plessis just kissed a girl.
Yeah, supposedly.
Wow, that must be his beard.
Supposedly have a girlfriend.
Yeah. He walks up and he's like, mm, 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 ah. Ew. I mean, I love you, babe. Anyway, anyway, Yeah, it's unfortunate, you know, like people say get help, but what they mean is tell somebody else, and the only people who are going to listen are the people who are going to basically ruin your life. Like going to a mental hospital ruins your life. You have a stigma attached to you by everybody who knows you right then. Um, you miss work, you miss school because of that. If you have a job where you have a certain workload that you have to accomplish, you're now behind in that workload and it has to get done still. It still has to get done. So you're going to have to make all that up. Or if it's school, same idea. You're gonna have to make all that work up, which you're not gonna be able to. That's not how that works, you know, because you have new work coming in the whole fucking time, right? Uh, the whole get help thing is like it's just it's not good, man. You know, we don't really have anything that's going to help anybody, and it's because truthfully, the problem is not just that somebody's a little sad. The problem is that many people live in a system under authority figures that are damaging to their psyche in a way that cannot be ignored. It's not just, oh boy, my dad sure does get hot sometimes, but he's a good guy every now and again. He sure does get ornery when somebody touches his newspaper, but other than that, he's my dad and he's a great guy. No, it's like dad is a piece of shit, mom is a piece of shit. The people at school are like awful. The teachers are losers and they want to like hurt me in whatever way they can. You know, the kids at school, I can't um relate to them because mom and dad were weirdos and now because of that I'm a weirdo. Like that's what it is, you know? And what do you do to help somebody like that? You know, what you need is environments and structures and other things like that where a child can go to learn from better people, from healthier people, from people that are going to be able to help them in some way, you know. And if you don't have that, you just don't have it. There's no getting it all of a sudden. That's not how it works, you know. It's the way the world is right now. People get poked and prodded into either submission or into suicide, and there's nothing we can do to help them, you know. The only thing we can do is try to be there for each other, but what does that even mean? You know, in some cases it means, hey, I'm here to play video games, man. You know, forget about the world for a few hours. Let's play some Arc Raiders. You know, like playing video games with Taylor's buddies. Like Taylor's been so busy, I haven't played games with him regularly in like the better part of a year. But for like 6 to 8 months, I was playing with his IRL friends, like friends of Taylor's, right? And those dudes, I haven't ever mentioned anything, but like the fact that I was able to play with those guys, it was like something that really helped me. You know, it really helped me to get through some really fucked up shit that I was dealing with over the last year and a half, right? It was really cool and nice, you know, and I'm so grateful to those guys and to Taylor for kind of being my in with those guys, you know. Um what's it called? It can be like, hey, I'm your coach at, you know, mixed martial arts camp. I'm your coach at mixed martial arts camp, and I'm a good guy, and I treat you like a person, not like a piece of shit, like a person, and I try to help you. You know, like that's that's what help is, you know. But a lot of people just don't have that, and they don't know where to go for it, or it's cost prohibitive or something like that, you know. Oh, excuse me. Oh, geez. You know, it sucks, but what you gonna do? Anyway, so we are about to get started with Kamaru Usman versus Dricus Du Plessis. Dricus, the White Panther, Du Plessis versus Marty from Nebraska. Dricus Mansa Musa Du Plessis versus Martin, the Nebraskan. Mm, that is tangy, dude. Gosh darn. Gosh darn. All right. It's funny that the one dude who actually lives and trains in Africa just happens to be a white dude. Every other African, like anything, has had to go to Europe or America. There was even a dude, he wasn't like Liberian, he was from, I think, he might have been from Uganda, I think it was. He retired this year. He came to America and Dwayne the Rock Johnson bought him a house. You know, it was one of those like third world like, oh, you want to do MMA? You have a big dream, okay, pal. You'll have your big dream. All right, here we are. Du Plessis versus Usman, and I'm not sure how this is going to work because Usman, I haven't seen Usman shoot in for many takedowns in the fights that I've seen him in. Honestly, he seems like he would rather box and then try to push you up against the cage and then take you down that way if he is going to take you down. But I just don't know if he's going to be able to do that with Dricus because Dricus is like big. You can see Dricus is just as big as Usman is, and I don't think he's that afraid of the takedown. There's a right hand from Dricus. There's a kick that is checked, at least partially. Ooh, there's a jab from Dricus. I was really happy with Usman when, like, I was not an Usman fan for a long time, and I still wouldn't say that I'm an Usman fan, but I did kind of grow to like him a little bit more just because of how good he did against Hamzat Chimaev. This is a guy who, for pretty much all of his career, fought at 170, and then he goes up to 185, and he gives Hamzat one of the hardest fights of his career. You know, anybody who beats someone like ooh, there's a right hand from Dricus that partially landed, and there's a jab from Dricus that looks like it landed on the way out. Oh, hey, there's a high kick from Dricus. You see, Dricus is active, and he's not over pursuing though. Dricus, he's using that jab. He's trying to see if he can land his right hand, and he's really just waiting for Usman to walk into range. As soon as Usman hits a certain range, ooh, there's a short right hand from Du Plessis, kind of a not exactly short, but it was kind of a short right hook, I guess I would say. Um, Du Plessis is trying to outwork Usman right now. He's trying to keep Usman busy. He's trying to keep him honest. Anytime Kamaru walks into a certain range, Dricus fires something off. And the way Kamaru is throwing his jab right now, he's level changing and he's leaning to his right side. And I saw Dricus throw a lead leg high kick a little bit earlier. I'm wondering if he's going to try to time that kind of motion from Kamaru. Ooh, 2 crosses landed from Dricus. Oh, he throws a kick that is deflected by Kamaru. Yeah, Kamaru is I think he's being patient. I think he's trying to figure out Dricus. I think he's trying to figure Dricus out, excuse me. I think he's just trying to see what he's got, see what he's working for, and then maybe in round 2 he'll start to come alive a little bit. But he does look a little bit befuddled on top of him, I think, trying to take his time. He's testing. There's a shot right behind the ear from Dricus. He's testing level changes. He's testing the body with his jab. I've seen a couple of times, I feel like. Like I think he's really just trying to get timing. He just threw a naked right hand that looked like it landed on Dricus, and Dricus landed a left hand on him. There's a kick. Oh, exchange, nothing clean really landed like that. Uppercut from Dricus almost landed. Oh, there's a takedown attempt, followed by a right hook from Kamaru. Huh? What do you mean?
Nothing.
You were like, mm-mm.
I wasn't. I made the noise by mistake.
Oh, okay. Sort of standing in front of each other right now. Oh. There's a jab from Usman. It's a jab. Again, doesn't really land. See, Usman's level changing, and Dricus is doing a good job of landing shots on the level change. Like, he's waiting for Usman to bend, and he's throwing, like, short right hands, short left hands. He's throwing uppercuts every now and again as well. I guess there was a nut shot in the clinch. Quick break. They return to the monster can. Swing and a miss from Usman. There's a jab to the lead leg from Usman. That is interesting. Oh, hey, there's a high kick from Dricus. We have a little under 30 seconds left in this round one, and Usman is starting to come alive a little bit. I think he's found the timing. I think he's started to find range. You know, he's still not quite making it work 100%, but I would assume that's gonna change as time goes on. It was a nice check hook from Dricus as Usman came in with a jab. One of the things Usman's doing is he's leaning into all of his punches, whether he's going high or low. He's like leaning in and he's going forward with it, and because of that, he's getting caught with things. He's dropping his hand. He's leaning forward like this, showing him the bald spot, showing him the chrome dome, and Dricus keeps fucking hitting that specifically that check hook on him, which is interesting. I think I never really liked Kamaru Usman as a fighter, and the reason why is because I think he's very representative of what get out of here. I think he's very representative of what MMA has become in a lot of cases, which is coaches piloting their fighters as though they're like mechs, like battle bots and things like that. You remember they used to have those robot battles. They were not even like robots; they were like RC cars essentially that were souped up, and they were they'd have like saws attached to them, and they'd have wedges and like other crazy stuff like that. um it wouldn't like a lot of what MMA has become is like 2 months of game planning, and it's just not as exciting that way. I understand why you would do that. I'm not saying it's like immoral or anything like that, but I don't have to think it's that fun either. And that's kind of what Kamaru Usman was known for was, oh, we're facing a striker, better get ready to shoot in for takedowns. Oh, we're facing a grappler, better get ready to strike. Oh, hey, a knee right up the middle on Usman. You can see he's wobbling. Ooh, there's a jab keeping Dricus away. Dricus throws a couple of kicks. There's a double jab cross that lands on Usman. That knee up the middle from Usman, you could tell that hurt to Usman, excuse me. That you could tell that hurt Usman. He was wobbling. He was kind of unsure on his feet for a second, but he did a really good job of staying calm using that jab. Oh, hey, there's another knee up the middle from Dricus. It lands. Usman tried to jab, but it did not work, and then they got into a bit of a firefight there. This jab, followed by another jab from Dricus. First jab landed, second jab did not. There's that high kick again from Dricus. He's throwing it. He's got to find a way to make Usman. He's got to. Oh, hey, there's another knee, but it does not quite land. And Dricus stuffs the takedown, limp legs out of it, and gets around to the back. But Usman is up to his feet, and he has Dricus against the cage. I was saying Dricus has to find a way to get Usman to drop that hand. He's got to attack the body a little bit. He should be going low with that kick and mid with the kick. He should be switching it up like low kick, mid kick, low kick, mid kick, low kick, low kick, mid kick, and then bang, eventually he's gonna land that high kick is what's gonna happen. We'll see if he can make that happen though. So like Real Steel movie, kind of sorta. Obviously that's not a 1-to-1 comparison, but like what I'm talking about is like Usman. Obviously, he is the athletic face of his brand, but like the mental face, like the guy who actually, there's another knee up the middle that lands on Usman. At least it partially landed. There's a jab cross lands. The hook cross does not land from Dricus. It's like you're going to go in there and you're only going to stick to your game plan. Oh, that was a hard jab that landed on Usman. You're going to go in there, you're only going to stick to your game plan. You're never going to take a chance. It doesn't matter if you're losing. If you're losing, you're just going to think maybe I need more of the game plan. It's just kind of annoying to see. Usman hurt for sure. No. That was completely legal. That was completely legal. Usman is faking like he got poked in the eye. Even if he did get poked in the eye, it's completely incidental. You're going to see bang. Okay, so it was an incidental eye poke. That's actually not something that is supposed to that shouldn't have happened. They shouldn't have stopped that. They should not have stopped the action. It's not his fault that it's not Dricus's fault that Usman got hit in the eye. It's not like he came like that. He just happened to the thumb. Oh, Usman is down. He is going for a takedown in the meantime, trying to scramble for that. I think he got caught with a right hand, I believe it was. I was trying to explain what happened with the thumb to the eye. Usman landing a couple to the body, a couple of hard shots to the body, and he's got Dricus up against the cage. No doubt, trying to find a way to get some time for himself to maybe recover a little bit. Like, he did get hit in the eye. Oh, there's a cross up the middle, and then a hook from Dricus. And Usman is doing a pretty good job of eating those shots. I'll give him that. But there's another jab cross from Dricus. Usman nails Dricus with what looked like a left hook when Dricus fell down. There's a jab, followed by a knee, followed by a jab cross. I believe everything but the cross landed there from Dricus. Oh, a high kick lands, but it was a glancing blow. So what's his face? Usman is mostly okay. Oh, a kick up the middle from Usman. Just eating shots. Yeah, he is kind of just taking shots, dude, and he's not rolling with them either. He's just kind of just straight up bang, just taking them. You got to give him credit. That's he's pretty tough. You can see that left eye is swelling. You can see it's closing on him. It's obviously not very good, and that's from the repeated shots he's been taking. Dricus has been doing a good job of landing that jab cross. And that jab a lot of the time is landing in this area. You can see the swelling. The eye isn't completely closed, but you know what? Another round of that, it probably will be completely closed. Yeah. But yeah, what I was saying is, like, there's nothing wrong with winning fights, right? I'm not mad that Usman was winning fights. It's just that I don't have to be a fan of his if he's going to win them via tactics instead of actual raw skill and heart, you know? We don't see this, we don't watch this just because bang, that was a knee right up the middle. Kind of landed high on the knee, closer to like the bottom of the quad, Bang. It's like I said, Dricus is doing a good job of landing. He's not throwing a ton behind the punches. You can see a lot of the time they're arm punches, but like just the fact that he's landing them, it's closing up Usman's eye. You can even see it from here. There's something different about his face. All right, here we are. We got round 3 of 5 in this main event. Boy, there's a kick to the liver from Dricus. Doesn't really land flush. There's a kick to the liver from Usman, which is completely avoided. See, Usman really does not want to get hit by that jab cross. He knows that jab cross is coming, and because of that, he is really trying to he's really trying to make sure he does not get hit by that. You could see the overreaction to the jab earlier. There's a jab attempt from Usman, misses, and I think there may have been a check hook from Du Plessis. Jab from Usman misses. Kick attempt from Usman does not land. Kick attempt from kick to the leg from Rodriguez doesn't land. This jab to the body from Usman. Usman's doing a good job of not. Oh, but you see, just as I was gonna say, he's doing a good job of not doing it. He did it again. He led with his hand. He led with his head. He has a habit of floating forward when he punches. He like lunges forward on a line. And because of that, it's real easy for Dricus to land those knees up the middle, you know? There's a cross followed by a hook from Dricus, who was standing in a southpaw stance. Again, Dricus trying to make sure he's targeting that left eye of Usman, you know? What's going on, Mr. Prosy? How you doing, man? Both rounds to DDP. Oh, yeah, for sure. No doubt, you know? This round, too, the way it's going right now, you know, Usman's just not doing enough. Oh, hey, there's that head kick that I was talking about earlier. That one almost got through. I think he was just a little bit too far away for it. But there's a jumping knee followed by a kick from Du Plessis. Usman faking that shot, and it's not really working anymore to, you know, make Du Plessis bite on it, which is a good thing. There's when it comes to feints, you either A, want someone to bite on something that's not coming so that you can throw something else and nail the dude, or B, you want him to stop biting on it. You want him to think that it's a bluff. You're not actually going to do anything so that you can actually do something for real. There was a check hook that sort of landed on the forearm with Kamaru as Du Plessis was coming in. They traded some blows there too. There's a knee up the middle from Du Plessis that does not land, and he started biting on that takedown attempt again. Oh, hey, that was a hard kick to the body from Du Plessis. Jab, jab, cross from Du Plessis. The double jab does not land. The cross definitely landed. There's a push kick attempt from Usman. See, Usman's overreacting a lot whenever Du Plessis comes in. You know, ooh, there's a knee pick attempt. Excuse me, a knee pick attempt with Usman from Usman. Oh, hey, knee attempt followed by a left hook from Du Plessis. I don't know why I keep like blanking for a second. It's like I almost want to call them the other thing, you know. Scott, are you aware the Cell Bitch Tank is replaying on the Fish Tank Archive YouTube channel starting today? Sorry if off topic. No, that's all right, man. And you know, I heard something about that. Is Fish Tank Archive owned by Fish Tank, or is that like a Clipper channel? That's interesting, you know. Maybe I'll check that out a little bit. Maybe not. I don't know, you know. But yeah, thanks for letting me know Immersion Ruined. I appreciate that. Oh, there's a takedown attempt, a real takedown attempt from Usman, and he gets it, but Du Plessis is right back up to his feet. No control, no damage done, nothing. I do think if somebody takes you down from center cage, that should count the same as a knockdown, if I'm being honest with you. And the reason I think is because it's easier to knock somebody down than it is to take somebody down. You luck your way into knockdowns every now and again. You don't luck your way into takedowns, you know? And I'm saying this as somebody who doesn't want to see Usman win. I want to see Du Plessis win this for a couple of different reasons, you know? But I think that should be just as good as a knockdown. You know, you should have to, if you get bodied like that, you should have to work your way back from a deficit either way, you know? But hey, that's just me. That's just me. I think they're talking about the live stream that they have running on the main site. So they have a live stream running on the main site, you know? I thought Bitch Tank was not Canyon, and they didn't want to they didn't want to talk about that anymore, you know? I mean, like, that's, you know, that's their choice. That's their choice. I think in hindsight, people will start to accept that Bitch Tank was actually a really good 2 weeks, you know, even if it was like crazy and insane and it was a little wild, you know, it was good content in my opinion, you know. I'm curious how chat's going to react to something that happened with me. I'm talking, of course, about taking script down. Oh, man. My wife is asleep. She was tired. She was tired today. She's asleep. I look over and she's snoozing. Susan. That's my wife's name is Susan. Mm. I've always thought that was a very ugly name, but the only thing uglier than Susan is Sue. Yeah, it's like, no thanks. No thanks. No one reacts to everything. Nobody watches. Everybody tunes out for the like 20 minutes that took place with script. Everyone's like, who? Script? Huh? Who? All right, so we are in the championship rounds of this main event, even though we are not a championship. I guess you could call it the main event rounds. You know, is this a new room? Haven't watched in a while. What's going on? Shook ya? Yeah, it's a new room. It's kind of a long story. It should be. It's well, it should be. It's gonna be temporary, you know. But I am in this place for a little bit longer. You know, basically. Oh, there's a knee pick from Usman, but it does not work. Oh, hey, that was interesting to see. Drekus, Drekus pushed off the cage like he was going to Superman punch off of it, and then he hit a switch kick off instead. That was an interesting choice. So you're starting to see what looks like Drekus kind of look a little. Drekus is looking a little desperate. I'm not going to lie. If Usman, like, there's no way Usman wins this fight, even if he takes rounds 4 and 5 handily. There's just no way. You cannot say the first 3 rounds going to Drekus is going to be some kind of like, oh, well, you see, uh, actually, there is a head kick that was partially blocked by Usman. It was actually almost completely blocked, but it wobbled him a little bit. There's another head kick attempt that was completely blocked by Usman. I think Usman was hurt from that head kick. You know, there's a right hook from Drekus. Drekus dodges a jab. He tries to come with a right hand, and then he throws a double jab cross. Both the jabs looked like they landed. Cross did not. Yeah, there was a situation with the old place I was at. Oh, hey, there's another high kick attempt, you know? Anyway, there was a situation. Oh man, that was scary seeing that. A little bit scary, you know. It was Usman who would have suffered from that, you know. Drekus almost caught him, you know. Oh, there was a hard shot from Drekus. But yeah, bottom line is I had to leave the place. Oh, there's some shots from Drekus. I want to explain. I want to finish saying what I was gonna say, but I can't. Yeah, there was a takedown attempts from Usman, you know, and they did not quite work out. But I had to leave the place that I was in for the better part of a year, not on bad terms. It's just the landlady wanted to sell the condo. We were living in a condo, and we didn't have a place to move to right away. We just couldn't find one in time, and because of that, I ended up at my parents for a little while with the wife. You know, oh, sweep attempt from Usman. Now Usman's been here, I feel, more than Du Plessis, so he's probably a little bit more poised. He's probably a little bit calmer and everything like that, you know? You can see Du Plessis is not exactly happy that he's here right now, but he's still doing enough. Like, Usman's flowing, he's working a little more handily, but the thing is, he's just not landing when and where he needs to be landing. Drekus, on the other hand, is still getting through from time to time. So even though you can see a little bit of desperation and some fatigue in Drekus, you like even this round, it's like going to be kind of tough to give that round to Usman. Like I think this is probably Usman's best round, but I don't even know if it's going to go to him. And if it does go to him, then it's not going to matter because oh, there's a nice jab. Usman swings and misses off of the jab. But yeah, like Usman needs a knockout or a submission. There nothing short of one of those. There's no way he's going to be able to win this fight on the cards. And if he does, then that's how you know there's some fishy bullshit going on, you know? A lot better than last week's fight, for sure, you know? Usman's taking it, got to give him credit. Oh, yeah, that too. You know, we were just talking, oh, hey, that was a nice cross up the middle from Usman. You know, Du Plessis had to take a step back off of that one, but he's mostly okay. He catches Usman coming in. You know, it's like I said, all night, Usman has been leading with his head in a bad way. There's ways you can lead with your head, right? Like if I'm gonna move my head like that off of a shot, it's gonna be left or right. It's gonna be throw the shot, I lean left, and then I what's it called? I bob under the left hook or the whatever might be coming, right? That's the way that you utilize the kind of head movement that Usman's trying to use, but he's not doing it right. He just isn't doing what he needs to be doing. Instead, he's like coming forward and he's like jab cross. He's literally like straight forward. And Du Plessis game planned for that. This is a good example of when game planning is like kind of a good thing because he's using it to land consistently and he's using it to land square on Usman, you know? Um, just incredibly barren or skeletonized. What specifically? Uh, um, it's dozens of people in chat jerking each other off all day. No, I'm not making a joke. LOL. I'm saying that's what the site is like. I see it when I go check episodes, just incredibly barren or skeletonized. Well, yeah, what reason is there to be there if there's no content? Even a rerun is only going to get so many people, They need new stuff. They wouldn't do that bad if they had people streaming on the site, but they don't want to, they don't want to share money is really what it is. If I'm being honest with you, like they don't want to have to go 50-50 on donations and stuff like that. They want to maximize the amount of money that they can make, which is why they had stream stars on in the first place, because there's people who will stream for free. It's people who like, they were parasocially attached to the show. And like those people though, they're like, man, eating nuggets of shit, vomiting, just like some of the worst fucking content you've ever seen, and I'm not saying it was all of them. I'm not saying it was all of I'm not saying it was all of the stream stars people who are like that, but you know what? Like those were what most people heard about when it came to stream stars, Those were the people that came closest to breaking containment. So, it's like if they want people who if they want people streaming on the site that are like, that are going to have like okay content that aren't going to be like eating shit, they're going to have to pay them. And then if they don't want to pay people, well, then they're going to get shit eating content is what they're going to get. So they just decided, fuck it. Oh, double jab cross lands clean from Du Plessis. And again, you got to give it to Usman, man. This is round 5. We're really like Usman's still coming forward, still trying to take it, and again, this is like if Usman fought like this during his championship reign, I would have had no problem with the guy at all. This is a very respectable showing from him. Looks like he may have gotten kicked in the dick. I'm not too sure. It kind of looked a little lower than the dick from me, but I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we'll get a replay. We are gonna get a replay of what? No, that was foot right to the dick. Okay, yeah, boink. Yep. Oh yes. Oh yes. What timestamp the fight you want, Scotty? It's 2:56 of round 5 is where I'm at, Mr. Prosy. All I know is that everything good Fish Tank ever made included Scott Sullivan. Well, thank you very much, Shook. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. 1, 2, 2.5 were amazing. 3 fell apart. 4 was terrible. 5 was abysmal. I didn't think 5 was abysmal. I think 5 was okay, Oh, hey, there is another head kick. Oh, a jumping knee into a jab cross that I don't think it wobbled him. I think it just staggered him. There is a difference between a wobble and a stagger, okay? Talking about Usman is the one who was staggered. Oh, hey, there's a high kick attempt from Usman after so many from Du Plessis. It's funny, like Usman is sick of the high kicks. Every time Du Plessis throws a high kick, he catches it here, and then he's like, "What are you doing, man?" Ooh, swing and miss from both of them. Got a little over 2 minutes to go. A couple of nice shots from what's his face, Kamaru. Ooh, there's a takedown attempt from Du Plessis, and he actually, for a second I thought he might have almost had it because he was in deep, but he just did not know how to finish it. I think he probably didn't think he was going to get that far. So he's like, "Oh shit, now what?" Ooh, there's a left hand fired off as he's switching stances. Talking about Du Plessis, it almost landed on Usman. There's another high kick. There's a jab that does land from Du Plessis, excuse me. Scott's expertise is dick shots. That was my first black belt, was dick shots. Ooh, Usman coming forward, you know. I put a carrot up my butt for stream stars. Oh man, Mr. Prosty. Yeah, like please don't take it the wrong way, but I do think stream stars was probably not the move, you know. I know that a lot of people made a lot of memories. I'm not trying to take those memories away from people, even if I could, right? I think what was done, and that's it. But like in hindsight, I like for the fish tank brand. Ooh, there's a shot from Kamaru Usman. For the fish tank brand, I don't think that was the move to make, was to let, like, you know, just anybody and everybody apply to stream like that, you know. I think there was probably better ways for them to do things, but the thing is, like, they don't want to pay for some things, or like they have like political reasons. I don't mean political like Democrat Republican. I mean political like behind the scenes drama type shit, if I'm being honest with you, you know. Oh yeah, there's another kick. Du Plessis really wants to land that kick. Oh, there's an uppercut that looks like it might have landed, but Du Plessis caught something too, and he is now running away. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, very respectable from Usman, I gotta say. That was very respectable, the way, because that's one thing that I fucking hate seeing, is it's round 3 of a 3-rounder or round 5 of a 5-rounder, and you hear the clack of the 10-second warning, and the dude who's behind and needs a knockout is just like, okay, jab, cross, pause, cross, hook, pause, double jab, and then the foghorn sounds. Like, Usman came at him and left it all out there. And I've got to say, after that performance, I think I like Kamaru Usman just a little bit more than I used to. You know, just like with Hamzat, I think, you know, that was very, that was class. That was class. You know, I've got to say. So good on him. There's no way he wins this. But good on him, you know. Apartheid being ushered back in to South Africa as we speak. Rhodesia being reinstated. Okay, the Mugabe bloodline is being expelled from the country. They're digging up Robert Mugabe, and they are lighting him on fire and scattering him to the 4 winds so that nobody can see his body ever again, you know. But yeah, with stream stars, it's like, if you were a stream star, it's like, I don't blame you. You know, you were given an opportunity, so you took it. You know, and I don't just mean you specifically, Mr. Prosy. I'm talking about like stream stars in general, right? Because I do know there have been a couple of stream stars who watched me regularly, right? But like, there's nothing wrong with taking an opportunity that you were afforded, right? That can be a good thing. But it's just kind of like the idea for the fish tank brand was probably not the best idea. It was probably not the best move to make, you know. Even if you tried to erase my memories of stream stars, my butt ain't erasing the memory of the carrot. Is it still in there? Did you ever get around to taking it out, Mr. Prosy? Oh man. Usman should retire, IMO, nothing left to prove at this point. Honestly, yeah, like I think he just wants to fight, or maybe he feels like he has to, because he probably was not paid that much. He was a champion for what, like 3 or 4 years, maybe even 5. Um and he was beating the hell out of what's his face, the fucking guy, Leon Edwards. He was beating the hell out of Leon Edwards. That was just a lucky kick that Edwards landed. He could have had a rematch, and he could have beat what's his face, Leon Edwards, you know. But for one reason or another, he was just like, nah, I can't do it, you know. But the fact that he did so well again against Hamzat, even though that was like, I think 2 years ago, maybe even more, and the fact that he was able to survive with Dricus, I think that is good. But yeah, you are right. I don't think he's gonna trend upwards. I think he's just gonna continue to trend downwards. And it's like, well, what's even the point at that point, you know? Carrot in the ass, and 9 months later, a redhead was born. Oh boy. He better be named after me. Oh, excuse me. Man. Sorry, just looking around right now. Oh, wow. I mean, we aren't 2 hours in, but we only got 15 minutes until that 2 hour mark. So, we'll be here for another 15 minutes or so. Excuse me. Sorry, just looking at some shit right now, trying to figure some stuff out. I guess both Andrew and Tristan Tate had been arrested by U.S. Marshals outside of a private event in Miami, Florida, following an extradition request by the UK government against the brothers on over 50 charges related to rape, arranging or facilitating trafficking for sexual exploitation, assault, occasioning actual bodily harm, as well as additional charges relating to illegal child images and pornography. Ooh, wow, that's you know, uh, that's pretty wild. That's pretty wild, and it wouldn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me that that's like the situation that he finds himself in. I'm not like a big Andrew Tate fan or anything like that, but it's pretty well known that if they can't get you one way, they'll keep trying to invent ways that they can get you. I'm curious what the story on that last thing was. Was it like, oh, we confiscated your laptop at an airport, and it made its way around the intelligence services until it made a stop at this one guy who has an axe to grind, so he decided he would put some stuff in there. Is it that, or is it literally that, like, they raided, and he was like, they raided a compound, and he had like his laptop open, his pants down, and they kick in the door, and they're like, "Whoa, that girl looks underage." Which one of those is it? Which one of those is it? This time Tate can't say it's to shut him up. He's been irrelevant for years. Yeah, I mean, he's been irrelevant enough, but like, they still, like, that doesn't matter to them. The fact that he had some kind of the fact that he had some kind of the fact that he had some kind of a following like that in the first place, that was like something that they need to go for. They need to try and get him for that. There's still plenty of people, I'm sure, that do pay attention to what Tate says and does and everything like that, and they can't have that. They don't want that. You are right, though. Tate is pretty irrelevant. I remember he was relevant. I was like, I can tell how long it's been by what apartment I've lived in. you know, I've lived in so many apartments over the last 5 to 6 years. I can tell, like I think I've lived in yeah, I've lived in 5 different apartments in 6 years, is what has happened. Um, but yeah, like, I can remember in the first apartment that I lived in with this channel, like, that's when Andrew Tate was like really well known and everything like that. Probably probably you watching the World Cup final tomorrow, probably Messi's last international match. Yeah, I should be watching it. I'm ready to see Argentina take the World Cup. Brazilians and Argentinians, they don't like each other. Argentines, I think is what they're called. They don't really like each other very much. Because Argentina is based and Brazil is blue pilled. Brazil is a bunch of blue pilled cucks. Yep, but Du Plessis won as we expected. My wife is barely awake. She is definitely going to take a nap. And we are going to stream for about another 10 minutes at least. Anyway, um, oh shit, oh fuck, um, they just like how white Argentinians are. Exactly, that's what it is, man. Yeah, literally, it's Ankalaev versus Guskov, which, like, okay, I guess Ankalaev is like he's relevant, but then it's Medic versus Rodriguez. Don't give a fuck about that. Then it's Gamrot versus Saul Killed. Don't care about them. You know, there's just nothing good coming up. You know, that's the thing about it. It's not like there's like some good shit coming up, and it's like, oh yeah, this rules. No, it's literally that like it's just it's just nothing good. Nothing good. That's it, you know. But we'll have to see. We will most likely, if not, then definitely we will be streaming for the Ian Gary fight that's going to be coming up versus not Hamzat, what the fuck, versus what's his face, the guy, Islam Makhachev. Uh, I do think Islam loses that one, but I'm not a predictions guy. I don't like trying to be a predictions guy, but we'll have to see. It depends how well Islam can handle Gary's reach, because that's really going to be the deciding factor. I think Islam is probably, if not undersized, he's just on the cusp of being undersized for 170. I'm pretty sure he's like 5'10, 5'11 or something like that. Ian Gary is like 6'2 or 6'3. So, it's it's going to be tough for him. It's going to be a challenge. And if he wins, then good for him, because that means, Islam is actually taking tough fights. As long as he wins for real, as long as it's a real win, not a, oh, well, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna fucking hold him down for like 15 minutes, 25 minutes, as long as it's not that kind of victory, it's all good. What's going on, Sid Beretta? How you doing, man? 50-45 broke Usman. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, that was a good fight though. That definitely was a good fight. I was entertained. It would have been nice to see Usman get knocked out, but Usman's tough. Usman's definitely tough. You can't take that away from him. One interesting thing I was thinking about, not thinking about, but I saw, I guess Mikey Musumeci is going to be making his MMA debut. I think it was in like September or October or something like that. I heard a rumor about that. I'm not sure how true it is. I feel like if it was going to be September, they would have made an announcement by now, but I could be wrong. I hate seeing Laura Sanko on the screen. Like, they could have Ronda Rousey. They could have Misha Tate. Misha Tate is a very well-spoken girl, and she's very pretty. They could have Misha Tate come back, and they could have her on the commentator's booth. They could have her as an analyst. Instead, they have Laura Sanko, who is fucking. She just sucks, man. She's not fun to look at. She looks out of place there. It's weird. It feels like I'm watching an episode of The View where they had 3 male guests, and the other uppity bitches had to like sit off to the side so that the 3 male guests could have a seat at the table, is what that looks like. It's like you don't need her here. She's not adding to anything. Why is she leading? Why is she leading the talk right now? You know? I keep looking over there because I'm used to my camera being over here. I'm like, why is she blah? You know? It's just like, man, that's so fucking stupid. But yeah, Mikey Musumeci, like, there's rumors that he might be making an MMA debut, which good for him. He's finally becoming a man. But I just don't know how well he's gonna do. I don't think he's gonna do that well. They'll line him up to knock cans down. They'll give him some cans to crush, but even with the cans, it wouldn't surprise me if we get kind of like a CM Punk sort of situation where, like, they literally called people up to the UFC that they thought CM Punk would beat, and he lost every one of those fights, which is the funniest thing. But um, with Musumeci, they're gonna give him cans to crush, and even then, it's not a guarantee, because has he ever shot in for a takedown in his life? Does he even know how to do that, or is he just gonna jump guard like he's that Gracie that fought Bryce Mitchell? Which one of those is gonna happen? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Colby beat Armand. Really? Did Colby beat Armand? That's pretty crazy if Colby Covington beat Arman Sarukian. I'm curious here. Sorry, I was looking at something. I guess there was a girl fight earlier in the thing. Um, Jeez. USA police have apprehended a 32-year-old man who was planning to carry out a mass shooting at a Catholic school in Nebraska. He said he wanted to kill children and a few nuns for expletive funsies. I would assume fucking funsies. And yeah, I can't tell if this is a guy or a girl or what, but that's apparently who they caught. Oh boy. You just get that type of shit happening now. It's considered to be totally okay. I guess a dude named Trent Hilday defeats Magomed Khan Magomedov 10-0 in RAF, which is pretty cool. Whenever you hear a guy with a Magomedov type name and he's losing, that's a fantastic thing. Colby Covington. Let's see here. Colby Covington gives Sarukian his first loss at RAF. Okay, yeah, so it looks like you beat him on points. It was 5-3. It's interesting. I mean, Sarukian is known for being like an unstoppable grappler. So the fact that he got beat by Covington, who Colby Covington was a Division One wrestler, sure, but he was not like a world champ. I don't even think he was an NCAA champ. I could be wrong, but I don't believe he was. Um, so it's like the fact that he could do that to Arman Sarukian, even if it was on points, it's like, win still a win. Good for, hey, good for him. Good for him, you know? Like I know Sarukian is he's not a mountain Russian. He's a Caucasus Christian, right? He's a Armenian. He's an Armenian. But like I'm just tired of grapplers from that region coming out and like winning via hug. I'm tired of that. Even if it was like I actually kind of like Marab Davalishvili. Oh shit. Let me finish this point and I'll get to what you were saying, Sid. Thank you very much for the 5. But um excuse me. I kind of like Marab Davalishvili because he's kind of fun with it a little bit. He likes to showboat a little bit. It makes it a little bit more entertaining, I guess. But even if he lost, it's like, yeah, that's probably good for the sport. In fact, he did lose to Peter Yan again, right? Umar Nurmagomedov lost to Marab. Marab lost to Peter Yan. So it's a revolving door, but um maybe not a revolving door, but you get what I mean, right? At least is that what it? Fuck, man. I'm like now I'm questioning reality because I'm pretty sure Peter Yan beat somebody who was considered to be like an amazing grappler recently, and I could swear it was Merab. I want to see that though. Merab versus Yan 2. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens when I type that in. Let's see if this isn't part of the Mandingo effect. Um, yes, Peter Yan defeated Marab Davalishvili via unanimous decision to reclaim the UFC Bantamweight Championship at UFC 323 on December 6th, 2025. Okay, yes, so that did happen the way I thought it did. Like, that's good for the sport. I don't hate Marab, but that's good for the sport. All these former Eastern Bloc, former Soviet satellite like nations with their wrestlers, like we don't need those in MMA winning only because they're good at holding somebody down. One guy came to fight, the other guy came to just do that, and that's it. It's like we don't need that shit. But again, thank you very much, Sid Beretta, for the $5. Bless up, Celtic Zerker. I'm heading out to DoorDash and get that bread. Have a great night, brother. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad, Kamaru. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you very much for stopping in. Thank you very much for the 5, Sid. You know, it's been a minute. I hope you're doing well. Honestly, kind of a sore loser making excuses. So he's having a BJJ match against Bryce Mitchell, and then he's going to jump into MMA. That's pretty funny. Oh, really? Interesting. Bro, most of these douchebags are terrible commentators for real, you know? Like the UFC doesn't pick commentary based on who is going to be good at commentary. They pick them based on who licked the most asses. And with Laura Sanko, I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm saying it wouldn't surprise me if that's quite literally how she got the announcer job. It would not surprise me if that ended up happening. I'm not saying it did. I'm not saying it did. I'm just saying it wouldn't be surprising. You know? Fucking just like even Chris Weidman, it's like I don't think anyone cares what Chris Weidman has to say. It's like, hey, congrats, you're a Hall of Famer now. Close your mouth. You know, close your fucking mouth. And then I don't even recognize the two dudes on the end. I think maybe I did, but like who are those dudes? I got to get another look at them. You know, like MMA has been around for long enough that we. Oh yeah, fuck one. The guy on the right, I forget who that is. He is a fighter. I forget who it is. That's not. I fucking forget who it is. I don't even care. You know, but like MMA has been around long enough that we have dudes that are like fighters that can be commentators now. So it's not a bad thing that we have former fighters as commentators. It's just there's so many other people out there that are better at being commentators than like even someone like Daniel Cormier. Like Daniel Cormier is not that good of a commentator, you know? Joe Rogan used to be a good commentator, but he's just been doing it for so long. I think he's burnt out. That's why he took a bit of a step back for a little while. But even when he comes back, it's like listening to him is just like not that good. You know, it's just not that fun to listen to him anymore. You know, you can tell the excitement is not there. That twinkle in his eye is gone. He's lost a little bit of his luster, and he needs to be home with his kids, who I'm pretty sure he had in his like 40s. I'm pretty sure he had his kids in his 40s or something like that. You know. Merab is entertaining as fuck. I used to not like him until he beat up Umar. That fight was great. The way Merab outpaced him. Oh yeah, for sure. You know, and that was one of the things that made me a fan of Merab was that like even though I'm not a fan of the whole take somebody down and hold them there thing, like the fact that he was able to manhandle a Nurmagomedov, someone who's like the Nurmagomedov family is like the Gracie family of mixed martial arts grappling. Like if you carry that name, Nurmagomedov, people are gonna be like, "Oh, dude, he's so fucking talented, dude. He wrestled bears growing up. He wrestled bears when he was growing up, dude. That's so fucking crazy, yo, dude." And like seeing Umar get manhandled like that, especially by a Christian, because Georgia is a Christian nation. That's the beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. This chick right here, that's the only place a woman should be in the UFC is like, you know, being like a reporter type who she's going to stand in front of the backdrop and she's going to like ask a couple of questions to a dude after the show is like that's we don't need Laura Sanko sitting there with the men, you know. She can I'm don't give her that chick's job. That chick's a little more fun to look at, and she's not completely grating. You know, I kind of appreciate that about her. But overall, like, there's too much female in the color commentary type shit, and they need to knock that off. You know. Sorry, just looking around. Oh fuck, I live right next to Nebraska. Dead ass. I'm 7 minutes away from Nebraska. That's funny. How is it out there? Man, I think that's where Bex is from originally. She's a Nebraska native. To be fair, Joe Rogan is old, but yeah, I'm glad people are acknowledging how lousy he's been at commentating lately as of the last few years. Yeah, you know, you need somebody who has a love for the sport, and unfortunately these guys, like, their love for the sport is not the kind that makes it good for commentating, right? You need a guy who, like, whether he's good or bad at it, he does it so he knows what he's talking about, and he's a nerd, right? He's like a nerd for the techniques and the tactics and all that other stuff, where when he sees something he lights up and he's like, oh, there's a Peruvian necktie. Oh man, it's tight. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. Oh, he got it. Yeah. Like, that's the type of thing you need, you know? But these guys, they're so like it's like they're robotic about it now, you know? Oh, excuse me. They're robotic about it now is the issue, you know? And hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. We have Sean Strickland in the champion slot. It's so funny to see him there. What was going wrong for Usman in the Dricus fight? I mean, he would like Dricus did a really good job of game planning for the way Usman moves specifically. Like I was saying, when Usman would throw jab, cross, or really anything, he would drift forward with his head. He would lean forward, and it would be very predictable, very easy to see coming. So because of that, Dricus was able to fire off like 3, 4 punches in return, and he was really landing that double jab cross off of it. He was also throwing knees up the middle as well as a means to one, stop the takedown attempt, but then two, also to capitalize further on that leaning forward, you know? Excuse me. I would say that's what went wrong for Usman there. He didn't do bad, he just didn't do good enough, and Dricus kept making him pay for bad mistakes that he was making. That's really what it was, you know. Joe Rogan is just stuck in like the silver age or even the bronze age of the UFC. I would say he's stuck in the golden age of the UFC, but he is it's like I think he's just old. He doesn't have the energy anymore, you know. I think he's got other things. He's too rich now, you know. Um he was from the golden age of the UFC, but now we're in like the wood age. We're in the wood age of the UFC. You know, we're in the plastic age of the UFC where there's just not as much fun to be had. And you know, hey, what you gonna do? What you gonna do, you know? DDP was stifling him at every turn. Usman did not have the power either or the pace. Yeah, and that's another thing too. I mentioned that very early on in the fight is that whenever Usman would enter a certain range, DDP would fire off, you know? It's tough to deal with a guy who won't allow you to set. It's really frustrating, you know? And then yeah, it's the power. Like, I actually think, I actually wonder if either of them have the power, you know, because some of those shots they were both landing. It was like, you know, I feel like that should have knocked him out. Oh, I'm surprised he wasn't even wobbled at that, you know. But hey, I don't know. And you see what I was talking about? Usman leaned forward and then bang, right up the middle with that knee. I'm watching some of the replays right now, you know. And then there was a takedown attempt that was partially stopped by a knee, you know, but he ended up having a fucking sprawl, you know. Patty finishing Benoit Sandini, uh like, that was insane though. Oh yeah. I guess Charles Oliveira did that once. But that was like a combination of a Darce choke and a Peruvian necktie, which is pretty crazy. I've never seen anything like that, and I think it needs to be given its own name. There's so many things in grappling that have its own name, you know. I think that's one of the things that should probably have its own name, you know. He's too rich and he's too out of touch with the fan base, and he's like in the sphincters of a bunch of techno freak billionaires. Yeah, talking about Joe Rogan. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good summation of what his problem is. You know, I'd say that's a pretty good summation of what his problem is. I have no idea where Usman goes at this point. Yeah, somebody else mentioned that earlier. You know, I mean. I could see him doing 1, maybe 2 more fights and then probably retiring. I don't see like what else he has to do. The guy is like beat up. You can kind of see it in the way he moves. It's just like the dude moves stiff now, you know. He's always been a little awkward. Like he's always been like kind of a weird looking dude, a little awkward. I don't know exactly what it is, but you know, I think he can probably just like chill. You know, he should probably just enjoy retirement or something, you know. Figure it all out. Figure it all out. Man. I do think I will get out of here though. You know, it was a nice quick little stream. Sorry we didn't get to all of the fights tonight. Like I said, I didn't know it was starting at 8. They need to quit fucking around with the times and just have them be a 9 p.m. start time every time. It's Oklahoma City. It's not like it's Liverpool. It's not like they're in Abu Dhabi or anything like that. They're in fucking Oklahoma City in the United States. Like, fuck off. Start at 9 p.m. like you guys said you were going to. But yeah, thank you everybody. All right, I appreciate you, as you know. Thank you for the $5, Sid. I don't know when I'm gonna stream next. It'll most likely be Tuesday night, but it also might be a little sooner or maybe a little later. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. But till next time. Peace out.
Suck Sullivan, don't mess with his load, or you will get undone. Spinning round and round, bleeding on the ground. Scotty Rocker, laundry killer, no remorse in this beamer. Fabric assassin, hood cleaner, coming for your Rasta queen. Rape on the washing machine, no use to fight back. MMA, knock your nigga head like a KKK. Hush your nigga mouth if you can't walk the talk. Smokes. Me running really, really fast. Ginger eye round the back of me black ass. Chasing me like a devil, pot belly of the beast. Calling me a dickhead, there is no resist. Closing inch by inch, got me in a pinch. Modern day Scotty Rock a laundry lynch. Your nigga head like a KKK. Hush your nigga mouth if you can't walk the talk. Smoke. Me running really, really fast. Ginger eye on the back of me black ass. Chasing me like a devil, pot belly of the beast. Calling me a dickhead, there is no resist. Closing inch by inch, got me in a pinch. Modern day Scotty Rock a laundry lynch. Chasing me like a devil, pot belly of the beast. Calling me a dickhead, there is no resist. Oh, close, smoke. Me running really, really fast. Ginger eye on the back of me black ass. Chasing me like a devil, pot belly of the beast. Calling me a dickhead, there is no resist. Closing inch by inch, got me in a pinch. Modern day Scotty Rock a laundry lynch. out. No, 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 no.